Are you a teacher who's struggling to create creative English lessons? Are your students disengaged? Well, look no further, because today I have two highly experienced teachers who will introduce their new teaching package aimed at Stage 2 writing, which touches base on critical and visual literacy and their importance.
Hi, I'm Miss Jacinta.
And I'm Miss Clara.
Welcome, ladies. Before you introduce your teaching product, could you please explain to our audience what visual and critical literacy is and why are they important?
My pleasure. Critical literacy is the ability to question, challenge, and evaluate the meanings and purpose of text. It involves an understanding of the ways in which values and attitudes are communicated through language. Critical literacy is tremendously significant as it supports us to read text in a deeper and more meaningful way.
Visual literacy, on the other hand, is defined as the ability to interpret, think, learn, and express one's own understanding through visual elements of a text as they come into contact with them. Visual literacy offers a deeper connection with all kinds of text and encourages analytical interpretation of what is represented and their hidden meanings.
Thank you, ladies. Now, I'm sure our audience are on the edge of their seats waiting for this life-changing teaching package. Can you give us a brief description of the book?
Artistically illustrated picture book is a memoir that provides insights into an extended family's life in Lionsville, offering historical perspectives. It includes Indigenous artwork, place and culture, and an array of visual and literary elements.
Text is effective in assisting students with the development of visual and critical literacy through the use of visual images which Kress and Van Leeuwen state, like language, are able to fill the meta functions of representational, interactive, and compositional arrangements and meanings of visual resources, which are the concepts of multimodality.
The 4 lesson plans engage students in predicting, analyzing, and interpreting visual elements and to uncover underlying messages. Students get to explore the characters' relationship through inferring guides to make personal connections. The lesson plan incorporates the gradual release responsibility model, devolving responsibility from the teacher to the eventual independence of the learner.
Our audience would love to hear one of the lesson plans you have created.
Definitely. Our third lesson plan sees students take the role of text analysis. To begin the lesson, adverbial phrases are reintroduced and Remembering Lionsville is then read aloud to the class, with the teacher paying close attention to the adverbial phrases. An array of probing questions are also included in the package for teachers to relay during the read aloud, which essentially prompts the students to think critically. The probing questions also prompt students to identify and interpret the author's purpose and perspective, which is expressed in the written text and visual illustrations through a modeled analysis by the teacher.
The class then focuses on pages 9 and 10 with teachers prompting students to identify different visual elements on that page, as well as adverbial phrases. Connections between visual elements and the text should also be highlighted by the teacher, which are a key component in students developing visual and critical literacy.
Sounds great. I can see how you started to include the gradual release of responsibility framework through focus and guided instruction.
That's exactly right. And now for the core sections of the lesson, students begin to participate in collaborative learning during a tug-of-war activity. As part of this activity, the teacher writes a statement on the whiteboard with opposing sides, prompting students to justify the statement with evidence on a sticky note.
Some differentiation adjustments for this activity can be the use of a think, pair, share. With this, students can continue to be text analysis while also becoming visually literate.
The tug-of-war activity leads to the independent learning of the lesson, with students becoming text participants and creating their own narrative, using the focus page of the picture book as their inspiration. Students are also given a list of criteria which must be included in their narrative.
This activity also includes its own differentiation pack, which includes a gradual step-by-step guide to writing a narrative with the inclusion of a 5W chart, sentence starters and openers reflecting on time, order, information, and comparisons, and finally a clear and concise narrative scaffold, where then students can reflect on their 5W chart and use their sentence starters to begin their narratives.
Wow, you really have catered to the needs of teachers in this package, whilst also focusing on the development of their students.
Thank you, Shevan. Additionally, as an extension activity, students can create their own Powtoon, which provides students with the option of allowing their avatar to verbally retell their narrative. This eliminates any communication barriers for EALD students and effectively establishes inclusion. Our teaching package also includes an assessment pack, which includes pre, post, criterion reference, formative, and summative assessments, which can be used throughout the lessons. For example, we have a marking rubric, which can be used in the final lesson for the narrative writing.
These lessons are also adaptable. For instance, allowing an Indigenous elder to read the story furthermore stimulates a sense of inclusion, belonging, and purpose for our students.
Our lessons are so convenient for teachers and engaging for students that we've received countless amounts of reviews about our lesson plans and praise from teachers all over Australia. You don't need to test it out yourself. You can just rely on the thousands of satisfied teachers.
What an amazing lesson plan! Well, what are you waiting for? Call or visit our website. For our audience, we also have a 20% off promotion and the inclusion of a visual step-by-step guide on how to use Powtoon. Thank you and see you next week.